everybody. It's Angie Rupert, founder of Rupert Law Group. We handle exclusively E2 and E1 visas. So no matter what treaty country you're from or what state you want to be in, we can help. So today, before we get started, I just want to ask you to take a second and make sure that you subscribe and hit that little bell for notifications. And of course, if you find this video useful, please be sure to share it with a friend or a family member who might also be interested in the E2 or E1 visa. So today I want to talk to you about the 3 things that successful E2 visa applicants have in common. Now, I don't actually get this question very often, if ever, but it's something that we've noticed after helping so many people around the world. People that we see do the best with their E2 visa applications are people that fall into the following 3 categories, or they follow the following 3 steps. So number 1, they have goals for the business and they're very excited about running the type of business that they are going to operate for the E2 visa, right? This is not just something that's like, I don't know, I guess, whatever works. They're really excited about it. They're excited to move to the US. They're very enthusiastic about the business and they have a lot of plans for the business. And of course, at the interview, they're able to articulate exactly why they started this business, why they're interested in this business, and how they are going to be successful at this business. That is the first thing that most of our E2 visa applicants have in common. Number 2, they clearly meet the requirements of the E2 visa, right? So we know that there are 6 requirements for the E2 visa, okay? There's the ownership, source of funds, evidence of investment, applicant info, marginality, and real and operating. We know that we have to clearly show that every applicant meets those. So we certainly will give you the information that you need to most clearly meet those requirements, right? And so the people who are successful at the E2 visas, they clearly meet all of the requirements, right? They clearly show that they have the correct ownership. Their source of funds is very clean. They clearly show how their evidence of investment was invested, right? It's very, very clear. Their applicant info is great. They also understand the marginality requirement and the real and operating requirement, and they are able to show via documentation, then again in the interview, that they clearly meet the requirements. Very little additional explanation is needed, and everything is very clear. Now, that's partially our job as well, right? Is to recommend the different documentation that will most easily show that you meet those requirements. That's where we come in. But the people who are the most successful follow through on that and have the exact right documents. Now, nobody comes to us with the exact right documents, right? Everybody comes to us with some documents, or I haven't started yet, or I've got this, but I don't know if it works. We'll guide you, but the most successful applicants follow through on that guidance. They get exactly the documents that we're asking for in exactly the order we're asking for, and it makes it so helpful. I've actually had clients come back to me and said, the consular officer said that this application was really clear and it was easy to understand. Oh my gosh, my heart melts when I hear that. So the most successful E2 visa applicants will make sure that their documentation is very clear, very concise, and it's easy for that officer to say yes. That's always the goal, right? Make it easy for them to say yes. So that's number 2. And then number 3, that the applicants diligently work on this application, okay? It takes everyone some time. This is not something that happens overnight, but it also is not something that takes a year, right? It takes 16 weeks, maybe, to get through an applicant's piece of this puzzle. And so the applicants that are the most successful diligently work on this. This is something that they do every day for at least a little bit every day. They're working on it. They make all of the phone calls, right? All of the scheduled calls. They make the calls on time, and they are prepared. Right? We'll help you be prepared for all of those calls. We'll always let you know what documents we need, when we need them, and that type of thing. But the most successful applicants will do that. They put in the time to get the correct documentation. They make sure that they are available for all of the scheduled phone calls that we have with them, and they upload documents regularly and on time. So those are the three things that we see, right? Someone who's really enthusiastic about the business, someone who clearly meets all of the requirements for the E2 visa, and someone who diligently works on this E2 visa application. So one thing you'll notice, I didn't say what type of business someone has. I didn't say exactly how much someone invested. I didn't say how many employees that someone has. Those things are variable, right? It depends a lot on the business. It depends a lot on the person. Those types of things are variable. The things that are not variable, the things that make a good E2 application a great application, things that are within your control. The time you spend on this, the documentation that you get, how closely you follow those instructions and timelines. Those are the things that make a good E2 visa application a great application. So if you are ready to put together a great application and want help doing so, call us anytime. We'd love to speak with you. That information will show right after this video. So if you're ready for your E2 visa, give us a call. We're ready too.